Guys, it's Monday evening, and that means we're going to sit down with one of the most intelligent men in the boxing business at this time, the incomparable Rick Glaser.
Too can smell manly if you listen to Real Talk with Rick Glaser.
Thank you, Sly. We appreciate you being here. Guys, this wouldn't be a Monday evening without the counsel of our dear friend, the incomparable Big Rick Glaser. Rick, how are you doing, brother?
Not bad. Thanks for having me, Joe. I look forward to a real fast 30 minutes. Fire away, big boy.
Well, I tell you what, man, we're going to start things off, guys, with, oh boy.
Terrible fan takes on Twitter/X.
Well, let me know when you can see this, Big Rick. Oh, Chihuahua, man.
Why don't you read it to me?
Here it comes. No, you're going to be able to hear it, brother. Here it comes.
Pressure Shakur puts on him, the more he's like trying to get out the game and telling Shakur how he'll never give him the fight. So is he like, looking for a way out, so to speak? But I do believe if someone pays Tank the money, he'll do what Bud did.
But mentality-wise, it's like how you put a message out there and say you have this 6 or 7 fight deal or whatever it was, and then name your hit list, and then expect for people not to ask about that or expect for people not to say, hey, are you going to fight this person when this person is in your, right there in your weight, your weight division? That's your competition. How do you expect for people not to ask you about that person? And if they do, you get pissed off.
The more pressure Shakur puts on.
Okay, now Rick. Well, hold on. Where's Rick? Where did he go? I guess he took off somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, I'm here by my lonesome. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
He clicked off, Joe.
Did you hear any of that?
Yeah, I heard it. I mean, it's typical. People. Everybody's disillusioned about Tank, all the fans out there, even fighters in the business, and he don't want to fight anybody. It doesn't matter. There's no 7-fight deal. That was all bullshit. Okay. I mean, he don't want to fight anybody. He didn't want to fight a rematch with fucking Roach. Now it was a draw. It was a good fight. Most people thought he lost based on the knockdown, that the fight should have been stopped when he turned his back and he went back to the corner. It should have been a knockdown. And, of course, everybody thought that he lost the fight, but he didn't want to do a rematch. I mean, what's his name? Was it a close fight with Madonna and Jose Luis Castillo? And he did rematches, Floyd. So
that's right.
He's not even taking a book. He's not even taking the safe road like Floyd did. This guy's taking the scared road.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Honestly, and I was just going to bring that up. Wasn't it you that was telling us years ago that the 7-8 fight deal that Tank was talking about was all nonsense and noise?
Yeah, of course it was.
Oh,
there was
guys.
No fight.
Go ahead.
Yeah. There was no deal.
No.
All Babaluba. All Babaluba.
Exactly.
Smoke and mirrors.
But guys, that brings us into this.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glaser's Twitter watch. Bang!
Guys, and look, what Rick says on Twitter or X, it piggybacks off of something that Steve Kim wrote. And that was back on September 23rd. He said this: Tank Davis's comments yesterday about how fans should sit back and enjoy the sport during his press conference may have enraged some. I get it, but it's further proof that boxers don't care about the fans one bit. They don't. Contrary to popular belief, for the fans' entertainment, they do it to make a living. That's fine. It's a job, it's a profession. Fans are consumers. Each can make their own individual decisions on how they participate and support the boxing business. And this is what you said. Steve Kim gets it, but it's a shame that jerk off Tank Davis doesn't get it. Jake Paul and Tank shouldn't even be happening, even if it's just an exhibition. That's not anything boxing needs. End quote. Look, it's pretty obvious, Rick, that Tank, he doesn't even want to do this exhibition, it seems.
Right. It's bad. It's just I don't know. I can't even begin to describe it. There are guys that care about what the fans think. Terrence Crawford is one of them. There's a few of them. I would say Earl Spence was like that. Sean Porter was like that. I'm looking at welterweights because it started out with Crawford there when he was a welterweight, but yeah, those guys cared, and then a lot of the little guys do care. You know what I mean? Bam Rodriguez, what's his name there? Anui. He just fought the guy. Everybody told him not to fight, and he beat him easy.
Oh, jeez, MJ.
Yeah, MJ. Yeah, MJ. So there are guys that care, but just few and far between. Is what the truth is. And that's just what the facts are. I mean, Usyk will fight anybody. He'll fight anybody. There are a few guys like that. Daniel Dubois will fight anybody, and I think that Moses Atuma will become like that. I think he may be being held back by Frank Warren in a way to amortize his potential earnings long term rather than the short term. But I do believe he's like that. There are just certain fighters that are like that, but many more aren't like that. Now, years ago, most of the fighters were cared about. They had pride. They talked to their legacy. The Hagler, the Hearnses, the Durans, the Leonards, the Benitezes, and Matthew Saad may rest in peace, and Dwight Muhammad Quarry may rest in peace. All these guys, they did care about their legacy. I met Yaki Lopez years ago, long after he was retired from the game. And he says, I never was world champion, but I gave 1,000% of myself every time I was in there. And he did. It's just, he cared. I mean, there are people that care. It just is more of a prior generation. Today, there's less fighters that care, and that's why there's less fans that care. That's why we have less fans. Everything is relative. Everything is a ratio. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. And you just spoke a mouthful. You just said a mouthful, and that's going to be an article tomorrow, guys. Check it out, or at least on Wednesday.
You can quote me. Then you can quote me. There you go.
Oh, dude, that was very quotable, Rick. That was beautiful. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Look, and piggybacking off that, he said this. Rick Glaser said this 4 days ago. He said, I've been asked who's the next boxing superstar that isn't a world champion yet. And in my mind, undoubtedly, that's Moses Italma. No one else comes close at this time. Italma is working with some huge advantages. He's from Boxing Happy, the UK. He's a heavyweight, a huge knockout puncher, and just as importantly, he's being guided by promoter Frank Warren. Frank Warren, whom is a boxing mastermind. I see Moses Italma being the next great thing in boxing. Unfortunately, he's some names on his resume.
What's that?
He's having a hard time finding skins to get in the ring.
I know that when you can punch like that, you're fast like that, you're really good, and you read my Twitter, they'll want too much money.
Yeah, so we're looking at a doubleheader on December 13th in the
Yep.
UK, and that's going to be a dual headliner with Derek Chisora. No, Frank Warren is not a sadist. He's not sticking Moses
No,
Itama.
no, 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 no. He loves Derek to shore. That ain't happening. He thinks the world of Derek. Derek's been a great for UK boxing for 20, close to 20 years now. And there's no way he's putting the Tuma in with Derek to shore. That won't happen. Can't see it.
So from what I've been told by my brother, Double T, Thomas Triber, Frank Warren has reached out to Philip Ergovich, Big Bang Jalei Zhang, someone else I'm forgetting, but
Is
yeah,
that for a Tuma? Is that for a Tuma or Derek to shore?
Talma, yeah.
Talma. Yeah, Talma. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
no,
thought.
they don't want a piece of the young gun.
No,
So
no.
put your thinking cap on, Rick. Who do you think Frank Warren is going to, well, coerce to get in the ring?
I don't know. Maybe Big Baby Miller.
Oh, do you think they're going to actually invest in that guy? That guy's so undependable.
No, he's not. He's not undependable at all. If he's not on steroids, he'll fight. Doesn't get caught on steroids, he's fighting.
Look, and you can't ask Deontay Wilder. You can't ask Andy Ruiz because they'd want a small fortune.
No, they want
Right.
they'll want ridiculous money. I mean, those guys they know they're getting knocked the fuck out. You know,
And look,
you
it was
know.
just announced by Queensberry Promotions, a fight that we were talking about last week, mentioned, and I was right. It's going to be Agit Kabayel in his German homecoming against the very dangerous knockout artist that you're not very fond of, Nelson Husa, spelt
Well, it's not. It's not that I'm
Husa.
not fond of him. He's a joke.
Really?
Yeah, he's not much.
Wow. You know what? I don't like this. To me, Rick, it kind of reminds me of Adam Kovnowski versus Robert Elenius.
Well, Cabral is good. Cabral is a good fighter. He should be in a better competition than that. But maybe they can't pay him more money. You know what I mean?
I
So
think that's
when we pay a
exactly
better
what it
guy
is.
more money, maybe there's not enough money to spread around. So that I
I,
can't say because I don't
I
know.
think I think that's exactly what it is. I think you hit the nail right on the head, my friend. Let's go to our friends in the chat. Yes, the tie between the big shootout between Dak Prescott and Jordan Love last night. Oh, guys, can we get someone to play defense on the Dallas Cowboys? Ching, yeah. And Rick, how about those Cincinnati Reds? How do you like them against the Dodgers tomorrow?
You mean in a 2 out of 3 series? I don't like them,
Oh,
but that being said, I think that I believe that the Dallas Cowboys have no defense and they need a real football guy and not Jerry Jones. I mean, what Jerry Jones doesn't know. I mean, he might as well hire my little sister.
oh
Seriously. I
gosh.
mean,
Yeah, I think he's getting senile, brother, to be
well,
honest.
he's not a football guy. He takes a real football guy.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean? So he's not. They're not going to, as long as he's making football decisions. They're not winning no Super Bowl. They won't even be in a Super Bowl.
You know what, Rick? You cut me deep right there, brother. You cut me deep. Yeah.
Man.
Technique. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for supporting Rick on this day. Also, my friend Eric Gomez, Bomb Squad. Yes, sir. Thank you for joining us, my brother. Jump Tube says, "Oh, it's ravishing Rick Glaser night." Yes, it is. It's the music. Eric Gomez says, "Yeah, Tank said he's retiring after the Jake fight. Are you gonna miss him, Rick?"
No.
Oh boy, and he's Jump Tube mentions Danny Swift Garcia. Oh jeez.
Danny Garcia, what about him? He's fighting Danny Gonzalez at
Oh
the
jeez.
Barclays Center coming up here, not too in the distant future here.
Look, that's another guy who was content with just fighting once every year and a half, or 2 years, like Keith Thurman, like Errol Spence, like all of these PBC guys, like Tank Davis, until they start losing money, until the money starts running thin. Then they start thinking about coming back, and it's a little too late. Just a little too late, guys. And we're gonna go back to the Twitter watch. There was one that I thought was really good. Here it is, and this was 2 days ago, Rick. You said this. Hey, good to see you, Vaughn. Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you for supporting Rick on this day. And Big Rick said this 2 days ago. As most know, I was very positive that Terrence Crawford was going to beat Canelo, and we all know what the result. What we all know that result. The next one, I'm positive, on his October 25th, 6'6" Sebastian Fundora destroying Keith Once Upon a Time Thurman, as close to 37-year-old 5'8" Keith is going to get an old school beatdown and send off into retirement. The evil of boxing, the older fighter catches a beating for that one last retirement payday. This is that for Keith Thurman. How can you be so sure, Rick?
It's just too many earmarks. The size, the age, the Keith's receding hairline. Keith beat that guy over in Australia, but that guy was half a hobo. And this is a different league. It's for a world title. This guy's left-handed, can punch. He's 6'6". He's faster than Thurman, and he's going to make Thurman look like he never had gloves on before.
Oh boy, I tell you what, we're going to get your thoughts. We're going to come back to Twitter Watch in just a second, but I do have to get your thoughts on this. Once again, here it is.
Terrible fan takes on Twitter/X.
I don't know if this is a terrible fan take, Rick, but I want to get your thoughts on it anyway. Hear what you think.
He's gonna want his rematch.
We don't
So
know.
I
Do we
think we
want his
overlooked.
rematch? They haven't even spoken about a rematch. We don't.
No, I know they haven't, but I mean, it's just, man, this is fresh. Canelo ain't never been shamed like this. Imagine you the school bully. You've been bullying everybody, and all of a sudden here comes a little guy and beats you up in the school auditorium. Now you're gonna be licking your wounds for a second. But if you a real, if you a real bully, you ain't gonna take it. All right, you gonna lick your wounds for a little bit. Let me go enjoy myself. I got all this money. I got $150 million. I just had a baby, and the next thing you know, it's like I'm watching that film. I'm watching how he did it. It's like, nah. Think I'm just gonna take it? I'm just gonna move on? Nah.
So, Rick, what do you think? Do you think
I think that guy should
Canelo
be. I think that guy should be castrated.
Oh, I think we need a translator next time. But look, Rick, do you think that this loss, do you think it's going to fester inside Canelo to where he's going to want to exact his revenge, and he's going to
Well,
want to try?
it may not fester in him, but he may want the rematch. It's business. Where is he going to make that kind of money where he's got even a chance to win? He's not beating the Benavidez anymore. He's not going to beat B-Ball anymore. He's not beating those type of guys. And if he wants a huge payday where he feels he's got a shot to win in his mind, then Crawford's the route to go.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's the only. Well, gosh, I hate to say this, but it's either that or Jake Paul, Rick.
I don't think Turkey El Sheik's going to put up money for a Jake Paul fight. Don't forget he's got a few more fights with him.
So here's what David Benavidez had to say in a recent interview. He said this. I think he's going to put into a corner now where Canelo's going to get put into a corner where he's running out of excuses. He said, the only thing I bring is an extra 25 pounds, and I'm not worth anything, but he's asking for 200 million. For me, it looks like fear. It looks like he is genuinely scared of me. And he used the S word. And he said, the way he handled my presence at 168, he's definitely scared of me. I was talking so much trash in front of him. Why didn't he make an example out of me in front of the entire world? Now, my question is, do you think Turkey is still interested in funding that fight?
I don't think so. I think he'd rather see Crawford and what's his name again, with Crawford and Canelo again. I would think.
Did great numbers. Why not?
Yep. Yeah, there'd be interest in a rematch.
Yep. Indeed. I tell you what, guys. Let's wish happy birthday to our brother Terrence Crawford, who turned 38 yesterday. And for his trouble, he got arrested. Wow. And this is what Rick had to say about it. Yeah. He said this: sounds like those rat bastard Omaha police are more dangerous than Canelo, as Terrence Crawford was effed with by Omaha's bad guys in blue after his big Terrence Crawford day. Wow. The mayor giving Crawford the keys of the city and boxing champ's birthday arrested him at gunpoint for a made-up charge of reckless driving. The police said they spotted a gun on Sunday at 1:30, but all 4 occupants of the car were licensed to carry a gun. He was released on an appearance ticket. The mayor and chief of police have ordered an internal investigation. This is a public relations nightmare for Omaha, Nebraska. It's definitely not a good look for Omaha. What happened, Rick, to the best of your knowledge?
Just driving from one place to another and just driving normal, what I'm told. And he wasn't doing anything abnormal. And all of a sudden, the police pulled him over, and boom, and there was a gun on the floor. Okay, there was a gun on the floor. So what? He was licensed to carry. What's wrong with that? In other words, you drive in the hood, whether it's whether it is, especially at night like that, you want your gun available. What do? Hide the motherfucker? You put it, I mean, you want it right there where you can grab it if necessary. I don't blame Terrence trying to protect his ass, trying to protect himself. I can't blame him for that. And listen, it's crazy, the whole thing. The mayor's pissed off about it. The chief of police is pissed off about it. Everybody's pissed off about it. The citizens have to be pissed off. I mean, there's 2 things presently to talk about Omaha. Okay, Warren Buffett. Okay, Terrence Crawford, and if you get really lucky, Bo-Back. But other than that, I mean, come on now. We're talking about Omaha here. And I mean, there's a lot of famous people from Omaha. Montgomery Clift, the actor from yesteryear, Dick Cavett, Johnny Carson. There's a lot of famous people from Omaha, but there hasn't been many in recent years except for Terrence Crawford and Warren Buffett. Well, yeah, but and what's his name's famous? It was famous too. He passed away, Charlie Munger, which was Warren Buffett's sidekick, and just like Bo-Mac, Bo-Mac is famous because of Crawford, but basically you got 2 guys that are the have shown to be exemplary in their field, in Warren Buffett and Terrence Crawford, and exemplary people as individuals and as people. And come on, you go arrest a guy because you felt like it. That's basically what it was. So
yeah, this is what I tried to do. Talk about when I stuck up for Bo-Mac when he was arrested on that gun charge in the UK.
Yeah, well, listen,
that's what he's used to.
Yeah, this is just the one guy in the car. A guy named Shabazz was on his security detail for the function for the function all day. He was on the security detail. He had a gun on him, on his own person, and all 4 people in the car were licensed to carry. It's ridiculous. It's just a made up bullshit. It's not even a crime. It's a traffic violation. So, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Reckless
Terrible.
driving. It's not reckless endangerment. That's probably a misdemeanor. If you don't do any damage, it's probably a misdemeanor. But this is reckless driving. That's a traffic violation. It's not even a crime. And then they said, well, they handcuffed him because they saw a gun. Oh, I said, what? Okay, so wait, the gun's in the car, and you pat the guy down, okay, and he's outside the car. Then why are you handcuffing the guy? Jesus fucking, you know who the guy is. Everybody knows who the guy is. I mean, it's in Omaha, especially. Come on, it's just so ridiculous. It was totally uncalled for. The mayor and the chief of police are embarrassed. So, I mean, that's why they called for an internal investigation, because they're pissed off.
Yeah, it's terrible. And this was a guy who
Yeah.
was just celebrated, not only in the city of Omaha, but in Lincoln, Nebraska, where the Cornhuskers played.
Right.
And
That was the previous week. Right. Exactly. I
yeah,
mean,
guys, yeah,
listen.
this is ridiculous.
He's the listen. He's the biggest thing in the state of Nebraska, except for maybe Warren Buffett. I mean, come on, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And guys, look, let me welcome, before we get to the main event of the evening and talk about Zuffa boxing in the last 5 minutes of the show. Welcome to the show, sir. He says, Rick, I just heard Olivetti from the W.A.W justifying Keyshawn #1 at 140. Basically, he said, if you can sell, you can what you want and get a pass. You can do what you want and get a pass.
No. The rule is if you were a WBO champion and you go up a weight class, and if you request it, you become #1 automatically. It's in their rules. Period. That's all there is to it.
Yep, there it is. And thanks for joining us, Eunice. And Eddie Alvarez, good to see you, my friend. He says, Rick, you glazing. Oh, Chihuahua. So, guys, we're going to get to Rick's thoughts on the deal brokered between Dana White, Turkey Al-Sheikh, and CBS Paramount. And that's for Zuffa boxing. Rick, what can you tell us about this deal that was just brokered?
It's going to be 12 shows the first year, and then and after that, it's going to be more fights per year as needed by Zuffa, from what I'm told. So
Yeah,
it might be 12 the first year, 18 the second year, the third year 24, something like that. That's what I believe it's going to be.
I've heard some of the fighters that they've been signing, and it's mid-level.
Well,
right?
they signed Vito Melnicki.
Oh, Vito Melnicki, really?
Yeah, he left Top Rank.
Well,
He got a release from Top Rank, and without TV, they didn't want to pay their minimums, and they didn't have a TV deal in place right now, and they just said, "Okay, very good. We got better places to spend our money." And they signed him. It's a good signing for Zuffa boxing. They need 10-round fighters that have been on TV already, that are got a good record, and he does. And Vito's a nice kid. Yeah, he's a good kid.
He is a good kid, and boy, his dad is hilarious.
Oh my God! Please.
He's a character. I will say this, and this is your tweet, Rick. Earlier today at 5:20 a.m., you said this. Man, we need to add this guy to the next bad guys in boxing list. Trainer Mark Ramsey, Montreal-based trader. He's a bad guy and a real jerk-off. Beware. What got into you about Mark Ramsey, brother?
It's just somebody brought his name up to me today, last night, and he fucked me 7 years ago, and not out of money. He used a fighter that I brought them, and then he went and got the fighter directly for the next time he was used up there, and went around me. And you don't do that. Wow. It's very unethical. Yeah, and he's just a bad guy. He's just a piece of shit. Some people are pieces of shit.
I heard he does that with sparring partners. Did he do that to you?
Yes. No, he didn't do that with his sparring partner, but that's what he does. He's just a bad guy.
Yeah, I heard that's what he does. And JumpTube, he said, yeah, Vito's dad should promote. He already does. He promotes and stages fights on the East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He hasn't done really. He did a show recently with his kid with Tommy Lamana, with Thomas Lamana.
Yeah.
He do cornflake, but they need a strong horse behind the kid, and that's not a strong horse.
Yeah, that the production was terrible, guys. It was
Yeah.
terrible. It wasn't worthy of ESPN, put it that way. The Martin 9400, welcome to the show, sir. He says, as someone from a city where 4 cops were killed in one day stemming from the same incident, I understand the cops taking every precaution possible.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have stopped him to start with. That's
Yeah.
my point. That was a made up thing. He wasn't reckless in driving. Come on, the guy's in his city just in a parade. It's his birthday. He's got 3 other people in the car with him. Come on, it's not a sports car. It's a fucking SUV. I understood. I don't know what it is, but somebody said it was an SUV. But come on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he doesn't drink.
Like they did. Yeah, he doesn't even drink. Like they didn't know who he was when they pulled up next to him and stopped him. They're full of shit. They targeted him. They're full of shit. Fucking people.
Wow. You know what, Rick? We're on that note. 30 minutes. We're 31 minutes in. How do you like that, brother?
Sad, but true.
Good. It just flies by whenever you're on, Rick. Thank you so much for being here, brother. Any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
Yeah, anybody owes me money that hasn't paid me, they go fuck themselves.
And there you have it. Oh, Rick, we love you, man. Thank you for being here, my friend.
I'm glad I'm here, and I'll see you next Monday night. Okay, bye now.
God bless you, my friend. Thank you for being here, brother. Guys, it was Rick Glaser. Always a gentleman. Depends on what your definition of gentleman is. The cops are salty pochos. I love it. Good to see you, my friend. I tell you what, we're not going to stay on very long, maybe another 30 minutes, guys. And we will talk about whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. I'm going to be dropping the link. And once again, we're just staying on for the next 30 minutes. So if you guys would like to join me, honestly, guys, and look, my brother Thomas, he was asking me, is like, you know what, how big do you think this Zuffa boxing thing is going to get on Paramount Plus? I said, well, it depends on how much money they're going to spend. It depends on how much promotion they're going to put into this. If they're going to make like a reality show, like The Contender, or like they've done with UFC, I think that it has the potential of being quite popular. Because look, let's just be honest, guys. That's one thing that's missing from this version of the business today. All of the backstory. Guys, these fighters always traditionally had the best backstory. Like, that's what got me into writing and covering the sport way back yonder. Back when Abraham Lincoln was president. I'm just kidding, guys. But it feels that way, though. But look, guys, don't you guys miss that? Back on HBO Championship Boxing, Showtime Championship Boxing, all the backstory, ABC Wide World of Sports, USA Tuesday Night Fights. Don't you guys miss those little featurettes that they used to do on the fighters? Not this watered down, pasteurized, all access shows that they do now. It's become so predictable, guys. Dig deep. You know, it's like, gosh, what happened to the real journalists in this business? Larry Merchant used to always get the good stuff on HBO. Steve Farhood used to always get the good stuff on Showtime. What happened? Martin 9400 says, I'm convinced Zuffa Boxing is going to flop. Only events that will do anything are Turkey-sponsored cards. Look, and look, my brother Thomas has nothing to worry about because he is working with Queensberry Promotions. And it's in the healthiest market in the world for boxing, the UK. And then the Riyadh season events. He's got nothing to worry about. And I'm with Martin 9400. It's because boxing, look, aside from the occasional big time event, boxing has become a fringe pastime in America. And Hawker, good to see you, my friend. Oh, Butch, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, my friend. And Hawker says, have you been following the Jake Paul Tank Davis press conferences? No, I haven't. I've heard about it, though, from other people. And look, guys, who was the one who was telling you guys earlier this year that Tank Davis is done? We were telling you that Lamont Roach fight wasn't going to happen and that he was retired. He already had 1 foot in retirement. We told you guys that with the first Lamont Roach fight. That's why he looked like shit. Guys, once again, I heard it from several people that he's done. He's done. And I don't know what the point is for this. Hawker said, I haven't listened to none of the build-up for that fight, if you want to call it a fight. Is it a fight? And Tim Bosky, welcome to the show, sir.
Yo.
What's on your mind, brother?
Can you hear me, eh?
I can hear you. Is that Butch?
Yeah. What you saying, Rick? But I'm saying not Rick. Rick was just on there. What you saying, fam? What you saying, Mr. What's man talking about, Joseph, man? I'm like, Mr. I used to call you Mr. Heron. That's why I see brother Joseph. I'm like, what? That's why I was
It's
thinking,
good
brother
to see you,
Joseph.
Butch. How you been, brother?
I'm good, Mr. Heron, man. What you saying, fam? How have you been, fam? I always tune in when I can. Obviously, right now it's 2:43 in the morning over here, so I always tune in when I can, man.
Well, thank you for
How have
joining
you
us.
honestly been, fam? How's your family and that, man? How's your mental? How's your mind state been, fam?
Oh, well, I tell you what, man. It's been okay. It's yeah, man. I've been spending most of my time just on my other channel, God's Perfect Love, preaching the gospel.
Okay, yeah,
Helping out with the harvesting of souls with this big revival. And so I've just been representing the kingdom of heaven,
Okay,
representing the
no.
kingdom of light. So that's blessed be God forever. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
But I
Joseph.
tell you what, Khalid, good to see you, my friend. And look, I'm going to put down the link once again, so maybe someone else can join me and Butch. But
Yeah,
I
man.
tell you what, Butch, what would you like to talk about at this time, my friend?
There's there's a whole afraid. There's a whole there's a whole boatload of things I could talk to you about, Mr. Heron, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man. Where do we start, man? We can start with Crawford. We can start.
Well,
we can start.
look. Let me get your thoughts because I know you're a fan of the heavyweight division.
Yes,
Who the
definitely.
hell
Yes.
is Moses Itama going to fight on December 13th? No one wants to fight this guy.
Of course, because once you fight a young, what I'm saying, dangerous, come on, man, a violent young man, like a young bull, like Moses Tamu, you're in for. You want to get paid very, very, you want to be looked after. You want to get cared for because you might be in a coma. The hospital bills might be a bit, you know what I'm saying, might take out of your wages, your salary. But it's cool though. I understand. The guy's young. He's hungry. He's dedicated. He's a gym rat. He stays out of the limelight, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? I understand. But there's a multitude of opponents that he could be in line for. A multitude of opponents. Hopefully, it's a step up to Dillian White. When I say a step up, it doesn't have to be a former world champion. I'm talking about someone that's more in his prime. Someone that's got more capabilities. Someone that's, maybe more athletic, younger. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Well, look, here's the problem. And you hit the nail right on the head. Most of the guys want a small fortune just to step in the ring with Moses Itama because they hold on real quick. Khalid and Z Pacino say the same thing. He wants to fight Franklin, but not Sanchez. Actually, Joe, I saw Itama turn down an IBF elimination against Frank Sanchez. Maybe Turkey has something lined up already. Maybe so, but I can understand why you wouldn't want to fight Frank Sanchez. He's a stinker. Dude, he's a good fighter. He's getting a little long in the tooth. He got knocked out by a Git Kabayel. He's a southpaw. He's a mover and a counterpuncher. Guys, chances are you're not going to look good against him. And if you do, are you going to get any credit for whooping his ass?
Exactly. There's no, like, what kind of career-wise, it is a good fight, but obviously you see the way that they're moving Moses right now. You understand, Joseph, that it's just not about fighting. This is business as well. This is a business. This is what I came to conclude. This is what I came to the conclusion of once I was coming up watching boxing for a certain amount of years. I had to understand that there is a business side to it, and business does kind of rule the world right now. So, and like you said, who wants to fight anybody that they know that they're not going to have a chance to win against? Come on, man.
That's right. And look, Frank Sanchez, he's a stinker, guys. He's a stinker. He's a very good fighter. He's a little long in the tooth. He's not in his prime, and he's going to try to survive. He's not going to try to win the fight. He's going to try to go rounds, and he's just going to try to make it to the finish line. No one wants to see that. But what I've been told from my friends at Queensberry is that it looks like it may be David Adelaide, the guy who fought to the brink, Filip Rogovich.
That's cool. It's
couple
cool.
months ago.
It's Joseph. That's cool. That's a cool little fun fight for as long as it lasts. But David Adelaide, he's from he's from where I'm from. Not specifically like not my area, but he's from South. No, he's from London. Obviously, he's from London.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's around my way. Younger than me, younger cat. He is how can I say, very powerful. You know what I'm saying? He still is a bit immature when it comes to his ring IQ. There's certain things.
But he can sell tickets. Fans like him.
Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah, he's very enthusiastic. He's fan friendly. When it comes to his fighting style, you saw the Hrgovic fight. You know, Hrgovic fight. That was, he did lose that fight. Cool, but he was there to fight. You know, what I'm saying he was throwing punches.
I thought it was very entertaining.
Yeah. I would. Stylistically, it's a great stylistic matchup for someone like Moses Tamu. I have him knocking out David Adelaide.
Yeah, absolutely. But the difference between Frank Sanchez and a guy like David Adelaide is gonna fight. He's gonna fight him. He's gonna try to let his hands go. He's gonna go down with his boots on. He's gonna die with his boots on. Frank Sanchez, no, he's gonna try to survive. He's a Cuban, right? Hold on. Wardley KO'd him. I expect nothing different from Itama. That's right. But you know what? Z Pacino, you've got the beat. You've got to keep this young guy active. You've got to try to get him as many rounds as you can.
Like, for example, I'll give you this, Joseph. Let me give you a prime example. I want to ask you about this fighter. Even though they're in two completely different weight classes, but Moses Tamu is older than him by about a year or 10 months. What about Cromwell Moulton? His activity has stagnated. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? There is no fights being lined up for him, and him and Moses are on the same type of trajectory. But as you see, Moses is getting the more quality fights. Obviously, it's the heavyweight division. That's why I said it's completely two different.
Well, it's all contingent on what promoter you sign with. Who's Cromwell Moulton signed with?
Is it not Floyd Mayweather, if I'm not mistaken?
That's what I'm saying. How many TV dates does Floyd have right now?
0, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. Guys, here's the reason why, and we talked about, and Martin 9400 said, I don't think Zuffa Boxing is going to, now let me pull it up. Martin 9400 says, I'm convinced Zuffa Boxing is going to flop, only events that will do. Well, look, say what you want, but what determines who has the juice in this business in terms of promotional outfits? TV dates, guys. If Turkey and Zuffa Boxing have all the TV dates, and it's not DAZN, like, let's be honest, guys, Paramount Plus, this is how popular Paramount Plus is in the States, right? I don't know how popular it is in Europe, but in the States, Butch, Walmart, you've heard of Walmart, right? The biggest, grocery department store chain in the entire United States. Guys, if you buy a membership to Walmart, it comes with a year of Paramount Plus and Peacock. That's how big this is. That's how potentially big this is, guys. And that's what determines who's got the juice in this business. It's the number of TV dates you have. If you've got TV dates, then all the fighters and all the managers are going to want to sign with you. And that's the reality, guys. So this thing has some legs. Don't count this out. Now, I know the money's going to be an issue because Zuffa doesn't want to spend any money. But look, if it means getting the best talent, Turkey Al Sheikh is going to be willing to bust out the checkbook. My question to you is, Butch, after hearing Tank Davis and him just saying, you know what, I don't care anymore, guys. And if you hadn't already ascertained by me fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Is Turkey Al Sheikh, will he be able to change his mind? And does anyone care at this point? Is Tank Davis still the big draw that he used to be?
He's still, well, in my opinion, like I said, Mr. Heron, you made some great points right there. When it comes to someone like Tank Davis, it is kind of a disappointment that he himself doesn't want to reach the elite Hall of Fame potential that he has in his skills and his career. He doesn't want to reach it himself. So, like you said, like we always say, Mr. Heron, we can always bring the water to the well, but we can't force the water the horse to drink the water from the well. You understand? He seems to be happy with what he's did in his career. That's fine. That's cool. He's given what his fans what they've wanted up until this point. He has said multiple things that hasn't made any sense, and I believe that. I think it's a mental problem. It's a mental thing, in my opinion, Mr. Heron. It's a mental thing. I don't know what he's got. We don't know what he's got going on outside of boxing that may be affecting his decisions or affecting his career.
Well, I can tell you what that is. He genuinely believes that all of his anger issues, his domestic violence history, he's blaming boxing on all of his personal issues, his mental ailments, right? His anger issues, his violence. He's blaming all of that. Him going to the Husgau. He's blaming all of that on boxing. That's why he's like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. It's really affecting my personal life. That's what he says. Do you believe him?
No, I don't. I do not believe him. I do not believe him. Does he say that when Al Heyman or TGB or whoever when Jake Paul cashes that check in his bank account, does he say that? Does he blame boxing then? Does he blame boxing then? Does he blame?
Touche, brother.
It doesn't make any sense. Like,
look, Z Pacino has the beat. Yeah, he says no accountability. That's right. Guys, we reap what we sow in this life.
Yes.
We reap what we sow in this life. And you know, Z Pacino, he brings up Wardley. Let me ask you, Butch. Do you think Wardley has a chance against Joseph Parker in October?
Has a chance. I think he's going to win the fight.
He definitely has the power. He can punch.
He's got the power. He's got the youth. We've seen Joseph Parker be defeated by lesser athletic, lesser guys with lesser power, in my opinion. When I say lesser power, I believe that Wardley hits harder than Dillian White at this stage of his career. I'm talking about at this stage. I believe Wardley hits harder than Chisora. It's just Chisora has accumulation. In my opinion, I'm talking about in my opinion. I don't really know. I have no idea, but from what I've seen of recent, I believe Wardley is the real deal when it comes to his power. Can carry on into later rounds. I believe that he's going to cause Joseph Parker a whole lot of problems with his athleticism, with his explosiveness, with the power of the front foot. Woodley can't really fight going backwards. He doesn't really have the boxing skills of a Justice Hooney. He doesn't have the boxing skills of a Frank Sanchez. No. He's coming to cause pain and destruction, and that's why I believe that's going to happen to Joseph Parker. Yeah. Pain and destruction. We saw him he got beat by Joe Joyce, man. Joe Joyce is slow as a snail. Chisora, come on, man. He's slow as a snail. Dillian White that doesn't even have the same amount of skills as a Wardley. Not as athletic, not as explosive. He fucking beat Joseph Parker, so why can't Wardley?
Yep. I look, Khalid says Fabio Wardley reminds you of a British Wilder. Oh, dude, that's insulting. Well, I can see the similarities, but I think Fabio Wardley fights a little bit better.
Yeah, you can
maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, we'll see, guys. But look, I'll say this: Joseph Parker. Everyone's he's the most deserving. Fat Dan Raphael thinks, this is a guy who deserves to fight Usyk. No, like, dude, Usyk has earned the right to pick and choose who he wants to fight. And Joseph Parker, who on God's green earth thinks that Joseph Parker is going to beat Alexander Usyk? What's the point? What's the point, guys? Look, think about this. Think about, oh, he's on a streak. Let's take a look at it. He got knocked down twice against the Big Bang Zhang and merely outlasted him to win a decision. In a nothing burger, he outlasted Deontay Wilder to win a decision. He bombed out a very fat, out of shape Martin Bacoli. So what has he actually done, guys?
See, no, see, Joseph, see, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, and see, I do keep it fair, Joseph. I do keep it fair. Joseph Parker has been on a decent run because of the namesake. When you beat two former world champions, sorry, Zhang was not a former world champion. He was
okay, let's see. A shot fighter in Deontay Wilder, a 3-round fighter that he got floored twice against in the Big Bang Zhang, a fat, out of shape heavyweight, well over 200 pounds that hadn't even had a training camp, and who was filling in for Daniel Dubois.
Yes.
So I'm sorry. What streak is that? Guys, he's been lucky. And I'm sorry, his luck is run out. And I'm telling you, Fabio Wardley is going to knock his ass out.
Yeah, I think
Butch has it right.
Yes, I've already said that. Yes, I do believe, Mr. Heron. I do believe, Joseph, that Joseph Parker does have the experience. He does have the footwork. He does have the IQ to beat Wardley. But I believe that Wardley will overcome that hill. I believe his power will carry on into the later rounds. And this is the heavyweight division. Every punch does hurt. Every punch is bone crushing. It's brain defying. Yes. But there is levels.
Look,
there is levels of power to this.
If he comes out and goes after Joseph Parker early, I think he could get him out early. But the longer this fight goes on, and the more comfortable and confident Joseph Parker gets, his chances of victory diminish considerably. I think Fabio Wardley's best chance of winning is to go after him like he did. What's his name in the rematch? Bombed him out, broke his jaw in 1 round.
Yeah, Frazier Clark.
Frazier Clark. Yep. Ooh, that was ugly.
I just said, Mr. Joseph, boy, every punch in the heavyweight division can be bone crushing. You know what I'm saying? It could be death defying. Every punch during the 230, 40 plus, 50 plus pound men are hitting you upside your head. It is a different story.
That's right. This is why I always tell him Big Rick, and he doesn't care about this fight, but I think this is a big mistake on Frank Warren's part. I do not like this fight. It's going to take place in January, guys. It's going to be a homecoming for Agit Kabayel. And he's fighting the big Albanian. He's fighting Nelson Husa, who's 21-0 with 19 knockouts. I don't like this. Go look at your fight tape. I don't like this fight for him. He's much taller, much rangier, heavy-handed. In my opinion, this has shades of Adam Kovnowski versus Robert Elenius, the first fight. I don't like this fight one bit, guys. I don't like this fight for Agit Kabayel. I think Frank Warren has made a serious miscalculation. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Team Batman, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, my friend.
We've seen Kabayel in there with guys that are bigger than him. We've seen guys that are longer, more rangier. We've seen guys that has been on a better level than Nelson. It's just the fact that Kabayel, I believe he's the best body puncher, in the heavyweight division. I believe that.
Without a doubt, he sure is. Yeah, but you know what? Nelson Husa isn't a 3-round fighter like the Big Bang Zhang. This is a very tough fight, guys. This is a guy who fights well tall, understands distance and range very well, has heavy hands, quick hands too. I don't like this fight one bit for Agit Kabayel. I think this is going to blow up in their face.
No, I don't believe so, Mr. Harriman. Husa, I believe his best days are behind him. You know what I'm saying? I was a big fan of him in about 2020.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a very good point. He's 41. He's 41. That's a very good point.
He is 41 now. He is, but power. What's the last thing to leave the fire, Mr. Harriman? Is the power. Obviously, is the power. and I believe he does have
Oh
real
well,
punch.
look. I'll say this. He doesn't. Who's he hasn't had a lot of hard rounds. Look, Zivacino has the beat. Slower guys though. Husa can move and has power in both hands. Yes, he does. I don't like this fight for Get Caballel. This is a guy, and here's the reason why. This is a guy who's one fight away from getting a title opportunity. Now they're talking about him possibly fighting the winner of Parker and Wardley.
I believe that.
And
I
you're going
believe
to
that.
fight this big bruiser,
I
a guy
believe
who
that
can knock
Parker.
your ass out with one right hand.
I believe that Parker and Caballel should have been the fight. Should have been the fight, and then you put Husa in there against Woodley. You know what I'm saying? Underneath the undercard or something. That's
Well,
what I would.
here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. Neither Joseph Parker nor Get Caballel can sell tickets. They needed a ticket seller like Fabio Wardley.
So, Mr. Heron, Joseph Parker can't sell no tickets in Australia with Caballel. Cause I know Caballel.
Oh, no, dude. Look, if you're going to put Joseph Parker anywhere, you put him in New Zealand or Australia. But here's the problem. Frank Warren, they don't have any big sponsors in Australia or New Zealand. They don't have a stronghold there. Guys, this business is all about sponsorship, TV dates, all of that, man. You put a fight in Australia, you better come up with a co-promoter who's going to be willing to pay the site fee and going to bring sponsorship to this event. That's the problem. Why do you think Frank Warren, unless Turki Al-Sheikh is paying for it, why do you think all his fights are in the UK? That's where all of his sponsorship and TV dates, TV money is. Guys, this is a business. Hold on. Adam, good to see you, Adam. He says Caballel should be fighting someone with a name. Look, he's in the same boat Moses Itauma's in. Who's going to step in the ring with that big cracker?
Yeah, nobody wants to fight these guys for the little amount of money that they believe that it is. They want millions or they want hundreds of thousands. McCauley only took that fight at Joseph Park because 400 or 500 grand. You know what I'm saying? 400,000 in Congolese money is completely different to dollars and euros. He took that fight because of the paycheck, which I understand. Tank Davis is only fighting Jake Paul because of the paycheck. Tank Davis can't get 40 million fighting nobody else apart from maybe a Ryan Garcia. As simple as that, man. That's the only reason.
I love the way you think, but hey, Khalid says it's funny because they're carefully matchmaking Nick Ball. And do you know why, Khalid? Guys, every time he fights in Liverpool, it's a sellout.
Correct.
Nick Ball is a big ticket seller in Liverpool. Correct. When is the last time he hasn't sold out? Butch.
Boy, you're dating back to that 3-4 years ago.
Yep, that's it, guys. He's a big ticket seller. And what's the old say? Promotions 101. Take care of your ticket sellers.
Right, do you know how Nick Ball is like Shakur Stevenson over here? Like the way Shakur can just go around selling out Newark, selling out New York or something. Nick Ball, that's the same for Nick Ball. He can come to he can sell out O2, he can sell Liverpool, he can sell these places. It's simple as that. He can Woodley has Ipswich. That's a football stadium. That stadium holds over 20,000 people. He sells that shit. That's what I'm saying to you. Look at Richie Rapport. We have football stadiums over here. As you know, Joseph, Mr. Heron, you know we have multiple football stadiums over here. Conor Ben and Chris Eubank, they sold out the Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh boy,
60,000.
I love it in Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah.
Yes,
love it.
Out. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. What do you think of the rematch, Butch?
I believe that it's going to be a very technical rematch. It's going to be a violent chess match, in my opinion.
So, do you think the lack of weight restrictions it's going to make a big difference in the second fight?
Yes, because Chris Eubank, he doesn't have a rehydration clause in this fight. If I'm correct, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, so I believe he's gonna be a lot more fresher. He's gonna be on his toes a bit more. That's why I believe he had to go toe to toe against Conor Ben the last fight because of the weight restrictions where he couldn't wasn't really the mobility wasn't there. It wasn't available. The mobility, the athleticism wasn't.
So why do you think they agreed to that? Have you heard anything about drug testing yet?
I haven't heard anything about drug testing.
No, that's the trade-off. I don't think there's going to be any drug testing for this fight. And I think that was the only way that Team Conor Benn was willing to waive the weight restrictions.
With that, Mr. Hero, maybe you have more insight than I do, but when it comes to that, I believe Turkey, I don't think he's playing them games. I think Turkey has those guys on a real strict drug restriction, or you know how Devin Haney's
Does
on
he really?
365.
Because honestly, I don't think Turkey Al-Sheikh gives two shits. I think Mauricio Suleiman does. I think Turkey Al-Sheikh is like, hey, if it makes for a better fight, hey, may the best juice win. Yes, Zipatino. Wow, more eggs. Yes, that's it. See, Turkey Al-Sheikh, the only thing he doesn't want are Tom and Jerry fights, cat and mouse fights. He wants to see two guys throw down and land hard leather. That's it.
He said he wants to see bone. He said out of his own mouth he wants to see bones breaking bones, blood. That's what he said.
Yeah,
he said,
he's a sadist. He's a
Guy's barbaric.
bloodthirsty old school fan. That's what he
he's
is.
barbaric.
And God bless him. I love it.
He's a gladiator. He's barbaric, and you're giving this man the power to make all these fights. And then you got guys like Tank Davis and multiple other guys that don't want to get on the green side and make the historical fights like Bob Crawford did. But it's all right though, man. It's fine. We don't need you. We don't need you in this sport. We don't. Like Oscar De La Hoya says, Mr. Heron, fuck off. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Adam says, no. Khalid says, hey, Joe, what's up with David Morrell? I thought he was going to fight Callum Smith, but I haven't heard. I hear that it's going to be in the co-main event, right? Dave Morrell versus Callum Smith is going to be in the co-main of Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez in January or February, one of those.
Hey, Zay Pacino, you're talking about fight Cuello. Who do Cuello? Why does Cuello? Why are you wanting to fight Cuello? Why don't you want to fight Espinoza? Why don't you want to fight Angelo Leo? Because Cuello hasn't done more than those two guys, and those two guys are champions. We want to unify the division. What are you talking about?
Once again, though, man, you take care of your ticket sellers. Frank Warren's no dummy. Why would you want to fight Rafael Espinoza?
No, obviously, Mr. Heron, I'm talking from a Spanish perspective. If you're talking about business, yeah. Hold on, let me put back on my business thinking cap real quickly. Hold on. Yeah. As a business aspect, no. We need to stay far away from Espinoza. We need to stay far away from that man. He's the last puzzle. He's the last piece.
Like, do you see anyone beating that treetop? Dude, he's the Sebastian Fundora of featherweights.
Yes, correct. He's a Sebastian Fundora of the featherweights. I don't see anyone beating him. I'm sorry. I don't see anybody beating him. I'm sorry. Nobody.
Nope. Adam, he says, Eubank should say, I like eggs with my sausage.
Oh my days.
That's hilarious. But guys, I think that's gonna about do it. I think I think I only have enough for an hour tonight, guys. But Butch, dude, it's been way too long. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Hey, where can we find you, Butch? Where have you been hiding lately? Where can we find you, brother?
Oh man, you can always find me on Mr. Heron's platform, man. Like I said, you can find me on a real platform. Mr. Heron, before I go, man, and you leave me from your great, amazing platform, man. I appreciate your work, man. Like I said, I've been listening to you for years now, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to you for years now, and I appreciate your work, man. That you put in. You know what I'm saying? I always give the content creators and the real boxing fans that know the history and the business side of things, their credit. Like I always say on every platform, if it was easy, we all be doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate your work. You don't understand. You fully, and multiple other people don't really understand how much man appreciates the work that you lot put in, because without you guys, we wouldn't fucking know nothing about boxing and what's going on. Yeah, we wouldn't. We'll have to go through news articles and go through other different sources. But this right here, Joseph, taking time out of his life because he's got a family. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you have kids and stuff, Mr. Heron, other work that you deal with. You don't have to come here and give us your time. You know what I'm saying to you? So I appreciate that. I fully appreciate that. And
well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of my brothers in the chat as well. That's why I do this. But hey, one last question, Butch, before you go. Yeah. It's going to be in San Antonio, and I'm already planning on getting credentialed. It's a PBC event. Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach Jr. on pay-per-view in San Antonio, Texas?
Yes, yes, yes. That's a very good fight. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Lamont Roach is
I
deserving
like
of
the
that.
matchup,
Yeah. Yes, I like the matchup.
but
I like the matchup.
but I hear a lot of belly aching because it's going to be offered on pay-per-view. Guys, it's on pay-per-view out of necessity.
And to be honest with you, Mr. Joseph, to be honest with you, what they did to Lamont Roach, I'm happy enough as a boxing fan to pay for that because he is deserving of that. He beat Tank. He beat Tank. They done him dirty. He should have got a rematch. I don't know how Tank slid his way out of that. I don't know how he slid his way out of the rematch and these type of things. It's ridiculous. It's effing ridiculous. Like I said.
Okay, I've got another question for you, brother, before we go. And this is a big one, okay? Put your thinking cap on. Can Sam Noakes pull off the mild upset and beat Abdullah Mason in November?
Yes, yes, Mr. Hero, man. Yes, yes, and I'm gonna answer that quickly and briefly for you. I have Isaac Cruz beating Lamont Roach, and Sam Noakes. I haven't beaten Abdullah Mason. I told you.
Wow. Wow.
Yes. I'm riding with my UK fighter, and I believe he does have the skills, the mindset, and the strength to defeat Abdullah Mason. Obviously, they tell me skills do pay the bills. Abdullah Mason is more skilled than Sam Noakes. That's fine. But I'll tell you this for a fact: he's not stronger than him. We've seen that Sam Noakes has a chin. Abdullah Mason's chin has been tested, and he did get back up and stop his opponent. Yes, but Mr. Heron, can you tell me who that Piragua scraper was that knocked Abdullah Mason down twice? Who was that guy? Who was that guy? Who was that guy? So you're telling me if he can knock down Abdullah Mason with the same punch, Sam Noakes is more athletic, he's stronger, younger, faster than that guy, more experienced than that guy. We can get it done. We can get it done also, but we're gonna have better sense of direction when it comes to finishing off our opponents.
Guys,
So
that entire card is going to be straight fire. You've got Benavidez versus Anthony Yard. I think it's for as long or as short as it lasts. I think it's going to be straight fire. Also, guys, on that same guard in the co-main event, Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin the Wet Dream Haney. And guys, once again, I think it's going to steal the show. Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason. Correct me if I'm wrong, Butch. I have a feeling it's going to play out to be a fight of the year candidate, and it's going to play out like Carl Froch versus Jermaine Taylor.
Yes. I love that. Yes.
I think it's going to be an instant classic, guys. And I will say this:
I'll give you another one. I'll give you another one, Mr. Aaron. I'll give you another one. It could be like Andy Lee versus John Jackson Jr.
Oh my gosh, dude! It very well may. Look, dude, I was at that fight. I covered that fight, and Andy Lee, because it was right after Emmanuel passed away, and Andy Lee, he was losing that fight. It looked like he was going to get knocked out, and he just waited on the ropes. He waited on the ropes, and he just timed that beautiful, short, quick right uppercut. Oh man, you could have countered to 100. And Jackson still would be laying on the canvas. That was beautifully timed. That was so good. Look, guys. Also on that same card, Dalton Smith versus Subriel Matias. That's another balls fight, man. That's going to be all balls, guys. It's going to be all action from start to finish. And Z Pacino, yes, it's going to be in San Antonio, but Barrios is not going to be fighting on that card. No. They still don't know what, according to Bob Santos, his trainer, they still don't know what he's going to be doing. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. But right now they're trying to put together the Rolly Romero versus Manny Pacquiao fight. So we'll see what happens, guys. Look, either way, PBC is in serious trouble. PBC's in serious trouble. Look, their big star, Tank Davis. This isn't a PBC promotion. This is a Jake Paul MVP promotion. PBC isn't the lead promoter on this. So who does PBC have? This is why we're seeing Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach Jr. on pay-per-view. It's out of necessity. One, they don't have a TV deal. It's Amazon Prime, but it's a distribution deal only. They're not paying the licensing fee. They're not paying for the main event like DAZN does, or like Netflix does, or ESPN used to, or Showtime used to. Amazon is just a distribution deal. So that means PBC has to come up with the coin for all of their events. They're on impulse power. They are almost out of this business. So once again, what did we say at the top of the show, guys? What determines who has the juice in this business? TV dates. TV dates. If you've got a network like Paramount Plus, CBS, ESPN, DAZN, willing to pay the licensing fee for these fights, to air these fights, that's what gives you the juice in this business. Without TV dates, you may have a promotional license, but you're basically a glorified manager with no TV dates. That's why Lou DiBella just got out of this business. We're like, really, what good are you as a promoter if you can't furnish any TV dates for your fighters? That's the reality of this, guys. So, look, I'll say this: I'm going to be there live. I'm going to be out of retirement, and I'm going to be covering this fight ringside. And I'll be bringing footage and interviews for you guys. I'm going to be coming out of retirement for this. So, yeah, I really want to support all of the promotional companies that really try to stage these big events in the U.S. market, because unlike where Butch lives, yeah, dude, I mean, where Butch is, that's the healthiest market for boxing in the entire world. It's still a big, major pastime. In America, aside from the handful of big events like Crawford Canelo or like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, dude, where are the big events in America? They don't exist. And so, guys, we need their support, and Butch has the right idea. Lamont Roach deserves this.
Yes.
Now, I think he's going to get his ass whooped because it's a bad style matchup for him, but he deserves this. And regardless of who's on the undercard, I'm going to support it, and I'm going to be publicizing it. But I will say this: I am really looking forward to November 22nd. And it's right around my birthday. So happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
God bless you guys. Oh, thank you, brother. Hey, so so let me ask you then, what's do we really want to see a 50th fight with Derek Chisora?
Yes.
In December, on December 13th, in the co-headliner with Moses Italma?
Yes, because Derek Chisora comes to fight. We know he's gonna come and throw his hands. He's gonna die in his boots, like you say, Mr. Heron. He's gonna die in those boots. He's gonna take those them them fucking Zimbabwean boots all the way to the grave. You understand? He's coming to swing punches. He's a fan-friendly guy. He loves, he's a very enthusiastic guy. If you've ever met him, Mr. Heron, you know what I'm saying? He loves his fans. He loves the sport. That's why he's still fighting. He deserves big payday, even though he's never got to the top of the creme de la creme with gaining a belt. But he's one of my favorite fighters of all time, in my opinion. He's fought everybody. He's had multiple losses that he should have been overturned. You know what I'm saying? He's look at the back half of his career now. He beat Joseph Parker. No, sorry, incorrection. Sorry, let me correct that quickly. He beat Joe Joyce and he beat Otto Wallin when he was the underdog in both those fights. So he deserves so he deserves something before he leaves the sport, in my opinion, man. Shout out to Derek.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's an old school badass, unlike these soft pansies from America these days. What is wrong with the American fighters here? They're soft. It's like the only fighting they want to do is on social media.
It's annoying, man.
And I'm sick of it.
What do we have to do? What do we have to do, Mr. Heron? What do we have to do? What is it? What is it? When Mr. Heron, when we give you guys the fights that you want, but it has to be placed somewhere else, they complain. Turkey comes in, pays for this shit, but puts it in his country. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the guy that's funding this shit. Oh, they complain. Or you put the guys in the other, they give the fans what they want with other fighters. Oh, they still complain because you have to pay for it. Now they complain. What do you want us to do? What do you want? What do you want? What do we have to do, man?
Yeah. Look, you're preaching to the choir, Butch, and brother, I've been talking about this issue for the last 5 years now, because that's how long it's been. It's like boxing fans in America. They're the exact opposite of the great fans in the UK. Now, I'm not talking about my friends here in the chat, because all of these guys who listen to this show, they're great boxing fans. They support everything financially. But the great majority of the ones that live on social media, yeah, they stream everything illegally. They don't pay for shit, and yet they complain about everything. So you know what? Maybe Tank is right to say, hey, you know what? I really don't care anymore. And why are you guys complaining anyway? You don't pay for shit. I think Tank Davis may be onto something. Guys, if you want these guys to fight, man, pay for it. Pay for it. And you know what? If they're too soft for your liking, then don't pay for it. And tell them, hey, stop talking about them. Stop talking about them. Move on to the guys who want to fight, like Brian Norman Jr., like Sam Noakes, like Abdullah Mason, David Benavidez, Anthony Yard. All those guys want to throw down. Notice I didn't say Devin Haney. He's a soft American fighter from today. Like, honestly, and I said this on the last show. Look, Terrence Crawford is a great fighter, but he's taking advantage of a mediocre era, of a bunch of soft sissy boys. He's taking advantage of a very soft era. And look, I'll be honest, I think Usyk is too. I think he came in a very soft era. Once again, put Terrence Crawford in the early 2000s, put him in the 90s, put him in the 80s. How does he do? How does he do? How does he fare? Butch, does he beat David Tua? Does he beat Ike Ibubuchi? Does he beat Lennox Lewis? Does he beat, does he even beat Vladimir Klitschko in his prime? Does he beat Vitaly Klitschko? Does he beat Evander Holyfield in his prime? Does he beat Mike Tyson in his prime? Does he beat Big Daddy Riddick Bowe in his prime? I don't think so, guys.
Does he beat Ernie Shavers? Does he beat even?
Look at let's Ernie Shavers, dude. Stop! Don't even bring up Ernie Shavers, man. That guy would knock him into next week. But look, let's go to Terrence Crawford now. How does he fare against a prime Oscar De La Hoya? How does he fare against a prime Roberto Duran in the 80s?
Even an Aaron Pryor. Even an Aaron Pryor. You know what I'm saying?
How does he fare against Aaron Pryor at 140? Oh, wait a minute. God. Raphael? You're saying Crawford thrashes Aaron Pryor?
Hell no.
How about a prime Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. at 140? How about Tommy Hearns at 147?
Yeah, Tommy Hearns.
Come on, guys. Once again, I'm sorry, you're going to have to convince me that these guys aren't throwback fighters in a very soft era. Because that's what they are. Look, if we put Terrence Crawford in the ring with Ryan Garcia, it'd make him piss his pants. If you put Terrence Crawford in the ring with Devin Haney, he would piss his pants. Because these guys are soft. Downy soft guys. Shakur Stevenson, downy soft. Come on, guys. Tank Davis, downy soft. These guys are soft. They're pretenders, not contenders. They're putas, and they just want to get paid. Oh, I just want that bag. Well, you know what? Go somewhere else. We're not interested. Oh, my gosh, Hawker Mustang. Now I think he's just messing with us. He says Usyk would be undefeated in Muhammad Ali's era in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're smoking crack, brother. All right, that's a nice end to the show. That's a perfect end to the. But guys, thank you for hanging with us, man. And Raphael, once again, this is all mythical talk, brother. And this is why I love this. There are no right or wrong answers, right? And that's why I love this discussion, because it's just, hey, mythical talk, and hey, you can't prove anyone right or wrong, but it's fun. Oh, hold on. Raphael says this. Wait a minute. Pryor had skill? Dude, he was a blender. Dude, it's like, how do you actually prepare for a guy like Aaron Pryor, who's like the Tasmanian devil?
And he had footwork. Yeah, kind of punching ability. He was excellent.
So you think Crawford could hurt Aaron Pryor? Really? Show me one guy who actually hurt Aaron Pryor in his prime. I'll wait. Oh my gosh, Hawker. Now stop it, dude. Jake Paul would do great in the same. Okay, that's it. We're done. We're done with tonight. Thank you, Butch. It's been a pleasure, my friend. God bless you, brother. And I tell you what, man. We're going to be going live again tomorrow night, guys. It's going to be Tuesday, and we're going to be going live with Ronnie Shields on my brother James Bell's channel, The Boxing Source. Guys, please join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Tomorrow night on The Boxing Source. That's a new home for Real Boxing with Coach Ronnie Shields. And we're going to talk all about all of his fighters. We're going to talk about all of the big events coming up. Who he thinks Canelo's going to fight next. Who he thinks Crawford's going to fight next. Guys, you don't want to miss this. And also, he'll give you the skinny on all the David Morrell rumors. Is he with Bob Santos? Is he not with Ronnie Shields? Yeah, he's going to settle all that tomorrow, guys. So tune in for that, right? Hold on. Hawker Mustang says Aaron Pryor was hard to hurt because he took so much cocaine before the fight. I guess you could call that a PED. But yeah, all the guys in the 70s and 80s, man, were high on. Dude, come on, man. They were high on yayo. Look at Sugar Ray Leonard. He even had a press conference admitting that he was high on yayo, man. How about Ernie Shavers? There were stories of his drug dealer meeting him at the gym in Youngstown, Ohio. Come on, guys. That was the PED of the 70s. And I'm not joking. That was the PED of the 70s, man. Give you energy for days. But anyway, guys, just say no. Just say no, guys. I'm a born-again Christian, so I don't condone any of that. Just say no. Slide and counter. Good to see you, my friend. He said Pryor had amazing endurance. His punch volume and power was unmatched. That's right. And do you really think Crawford would school him? That's what you're saying, Rafa? Really?
Rafa's just tired, man. He's got work. He's tired. Man. He's tired.
Burns also. Yep. He was famous for doing them rails. But anyway, guys, I don't want to deface any of my heroes, man. So I'm not going to say anything more about that. But God bless all of you guys. And if you missed any part of the show, go ahead and rewind, guys. But on behalf of Rick Glaser and on behalf of the incomparable Butch, I'm Joseph Heron. You've been listening to WaraWeek Boxing. Have a great evening, everybody.
I wanna
Come